Hello everyone, my name is Melly. I have been playing Jackal since the character released and I felt like sharing some thoughts and hopes for the character. Let me take a moment at the beginning of the video to say, feel more than free to disagree with those thoughts. They are by no means more worthy than whatever opinions you might have on Jackal and how she should or shouldn't play like. That being said, it's just fun to fantasize about what you would change to make your dream character, so let's do that! Recently, while discussing the topic of Jackal and her commands, I got asked, would buffing Explosion command to not hit Jackal make it too powerful? And I answered with, potentially. The reason why I said that is that it would be yet another way to make this character stronger, and this character already is pretty strong. However, she's strong in a way I am not a particularly big fan of. You might disagree with me, other Jackal players might disagree with me, but I am not a big fan of her winning condition being this, with her corner pressure and cheer 7 on and so on. I think that if you would buff her commands, if you would buff Explosion command and stuff like that, the character is already pretty strong, something else has got to give. At that point she needs to lose something to gain something somewhere else. At that point it's a retooling, at that point we are making the character new again. And I don't think that Arxis is bold enough to shift power away from her corner pressure and to give that power to her commands. It seems like too big of a change in direction, at the very least for a Strive update. Which brings me to my greatest fear for Jackal and Jackal's future specifically. And God, I really hope I'm wrong about this, I really do. Because I want a sequel to Strive, and I really hope that Jackal is not a niche enough character to not make it back. But my biggest fear is that if there is a sequel to Guilty Gear Strive and Jackal comes back, that Jackal's Tier 7 on becomes to Jackal what Potemkin Buster is to Potemkin. I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want to be like, oh, Jackal, she's the character with the really scary corner pressure. To my eyes, that's not what makes Jackal Jackal. She's the character with commands, she's the battlefield commander. To me, that's the fantasy of playing Jackal. She has all these commands, all these attacks that send servants in all sorts of trajectories, and a really great Jackal player will be able to cycle through them and be able to pick the right thing for the right situation. To do the right call, to do the right read, and to see a Jackal player that is able to do that in motion is something beautiful, and way more interesting than to see someone loop stuff in the corner. If she does come back, I would love for the focus of the character to go more into that direction. What sort of things would I want if Jackal comes back in a sequel? Have like 7, 8 different commands, 9 different commands, have a bunch of commands, and just have them be hyper-specific. Break attack command down, have an attack command, and then have an anti-air command that if you have a summon out and you do the anti-air command, it puts Jackal in a hurt box that is similar to 6p. But you get more reward from it than a 6p since you have to set a summon before being able to use it. Maybe it also has a weakness to not make it overshadow attack command, like its hitbox hits only really high, or using it has more recovery than using other commands. Bring back defense command. Have a charge command where the 7 moves in before attacking, but it is worse than just doing attack command. Attack command ends up being better, has less scaling or what have you, but we make our standard attack command make the 7 stay stationary. So we actually have to choose the right command for the right situation or we get bonked. Since we don't have regular Elysium driver, have a command grab command, where the servant alley-oops the opponent into Jackal's arms. Have an explosion command that has a countdown, and at the end of the countdown the servants rush the opponent and then they explode, sort of like Ino's Note. Give me different incentives to have more than one servant on the screen, have all the servants charge as the countdown hits 0. If you want to get crazy, give me specific commands that need 2 or more servants deployed to be able to be used, or even give me commands to make multiple servants help out with combos working together as a team. That sounds super thematic and super cool to me. Listen, I am getting sidetracked with the suggestions, so let me bring it all back. I don't want to be here saying, this is what you have to add to Jackal in the future. What I mean to say is, these sorts of suggestions, these sorts of potential additions, illustrate the design direction that I would like this character to have in the future. Because I really like the 7 system in this game, and it feels like the sky is the limit with what you can do with this system. But, for the most part, it feels like 7 gauge is being used for locking people down with attack command. Jackal could be a character that wins from doing callouts and reads with her commands and smart 7 positioning, instead of a character that wins by virtue of exhaustive corner pressure, OTGs, and risk building. The power and rewards associated with tier 7 on, corner pressure, and OTGs could be given to a more fleshed out and rewarding servant system. I think that sort of stuff is way more interesting than... Here we go! It's not interesting for my opponent, it's not particularly interesting for me. Is it good? Hell yes, no one is denying that, but a video game is composed of interactions. And one way to criticize a video game, I think, is to look at the interactions and ask yourself, are they fun? Are they not fun? And could they be more fun? And I think that retooling Jackal in such a manner would make the character more fun to watch, more fun to play against, and more fun to play with. Thank you so much for listening, for watching. I hope I didn't come across as too negative about Jackal, because I really, really love this character. And I really hope to keep playing her in the future. If you are looking forward to more Everyday Halloween videos, those should be coming up soon. Hopefully I'll be able to start making videos up again, and you can look forward to that. I make a series for teaching Jackal called Everyday Halloween. It's on this channel if you want to look it up. Short tips for people learning Jackal. Alright, see you next time.